And as I was on my bike, I was turning into my street, and it was like, all of a sudden I heard his voice. It was this super intuitive download. And it said, I need to pause one-on-one coaching. Hi, welcome to This Expat Life. My name is Amanda Maxine, and as a certified coach, I help high-achieving expats find more fulfillment and happiness in their global lives. Because while life abroad is often amazing, it is not only rainbows and butterflies, as all experienced expats know. In This Expat Life, I open up space for all facets of life abroad and what you can do to thrive in it. And to support you in your personal, professional, and geographic life transitions, I share tips, tell relatable stories, and connect with fellow expats. Whether you've just moved abroad or you are a seasoned expat, This Expat Life is your place to find real understanding and to grow from the inside out. Enjoy the show. In this episode, I'm going to share all about a personal decision I recently made and the insights I got from it that may be relevant to your global life as well. But before we dive into that, I want to share a few wins and things that are going on inside my world with the amazing people that I get to work with. As you may know, well, there was almost no escaping from it. I started my signature program, the Co-Pilot, last Monday, so still this week at the time of recording. It's now Friday, and we had our first live call on Monday evening, and we had hit it off. We have been hitting it off in our private WhatsApp group since, and it's been so amazing to see what the energy of this program is already doing with the people inside of it. And they shape that energy, right? They bring their own energy into it, and that combined is really unlocking already quite a few things. So what I loved about it is that in the private WhatsApp group, we are talking about a few things that are coming up for them, and I give them support and ask them follow-up questions. And already so many people are really turning inwards and are starting to identify what is going on for them, what are their blocks, what are their wishes, how they're secretly holding themselves back. But also they are taking action, which I love, because taking action is a big part of the Co-Pilot. I don't want you to just understand yourself and make your decisions. I also want you to get in momentum and take confident action. So 2 people inside the Co-Pilot have already updated their CV after months of not doing anything. These are people that are in the job, but they know the job is ending and they want to leave. And they finally got into action and they started updating it. And they still don't know exactly what they want to do. They're still searching. But the first step is there. Someone also researched some education possibilities. There are a few pretty prestigious programs that this expat wants to do. And she got real clear on, this is what I want to do, and this is how I can get there. And this was something else that she'd been stalling for months as well. There is someone who secured funding for her organization, which was really cool. There are more and more understanding that they have certain passion projects that they want to work on. Someone else is really making an effort, and I love seeing this because I celebrate the quote-unquote smaller wins perhaps even more than the big bold moves. And I'll tell you why in a moment. But this person is choosing yin yoga instead of overthinking. She's going on 3 walks a day to stop her from spiraling. There's quite a few things that have been going on for her and were impacting her next chapter and her decision. And instead of trying to solve it with her head, which she had always done, she's now taking an active approach on changing that. And so she's really choosing to regulate her nervous system instead of going the overthinking route that she had done before. And I really celebrate these, like I said, smaller wins, but in my eyes, they are the big wins. Because all of us are wired in a certain way and we deal with challenges in a certain way. We doom scroll, we numb ourselves, we eat more, some of us drink more, some work more, some go shopping. We all have our mechanisms to cope with stress or setbacks. And our brain is just wired that way, so we go for that route all the time, or often when it happens. And she is really choosing something else instead and doing something that is not your habit. Changing that autopilot really, I think, takes the most effort because you're working against something that has been in your brain for decades, maybe, or even for sure years. And so to consciously choose something in your day-to-day life, perhaps a harder path to not fall into these coping mechanisms, I think is the way to success. Because if you repeat that, you will also change how you feel, how you think, how you are. And this will help you make better decisions and go to your next chapter. So I'm really rooting for all of them here. And something else that I loved is that quite a few people are discovering certain patterns that they have and on how their relationships or the lack of relationship is influencing their decision, their next chapter decision. So I love that, because this work is not just about what do I want, but it's also why can't I make my partner see this, or why am I waiting for a partner to take action on this? And they're already uncovering that as well. And it's been only week 1. Like, this is insane. I'm absolutely so excited to continue working with them and to really see over the next 3.5 months what is going to unfold for them and what next chapters they will start. So yeah. And literally just before recording this episode, I got a text message from someone that I'd worked with before. And she said, out of the blue, she wrote me, she said, I somehow never have regrets. I just don't know what to do in the future, but I'm always happy with past choices, which maybe is also a reassuring sign that no matter what I choose, it will be okay. And she was like, Amanda, it reminded me of what you had shared with me before. And I just wanted to share that with you now. And it makes me so happy, because if there's one thing that I try to convey in my programs, but also in this podcast, is that we can build so much more self-trust. There is so much evidence of that we chose right, that we did things that were good for us, that we made it work despite challenges. And if you can just look back and see all that evidence for it, and that you really trust that you have that also going with you into the future, you can then also trust that you will make the right choices, that you will work it out in the future. And so you don't need to rely on worrying right now or trying to hold a grip on the future, trying to know what's going to happen. You can relax, because you can trust that you can figure it out in the future as well. So I just wanted to share these wins, because this honestly excites me so much about working with these amazing people and seeing those light bulbs go off. And not just for them, also for me, and really the combined energy that we have inside our groups and the wonderful steps that everyone is taking. It is absolutely wonderful to see, and I can't wait to work more with them. And my decision is somehow related to this. So when I started preparing for the co-pilot, which is all about helping overthinking expats make clear, confident decisions, I knew the topic of decision making would show up for me too. It's just like this, that's just how it works. You know, I enter into a container with a group of people on a certain topic. I just know the topic is also going to be present in my life. It's this kind of energy. But I didn't realize, or I didn't expect it would happen so fast, actually, before we even started with the co-pilot. So this was right in the middle of when doors were open to the co-pilot for 6 days. People could come in. And right in the middle of it, I made this decision. And this decision came so unexpectedly. I was cycling back home after a coffee with my bestie who was in town. And as I was on my bike, I was turning into my street. And it was like, all of a sudden I heard his voice. It was this super intuitive download. You know, that download that arrives quicker than your brain. You know, your brain cannot catch up. And it said, I need to pause one-on-one coaching. And it hit me like that. I was like, oh, whoa. It came out of nowhere. I had no reason to think this. It wasn't like I was talking about work all the time with my bestie, or that I was thinking about work on the bike. I was thinking about other things. I was actually just spacing out, really. And it came out of nowhere. And I also had no reason to make that decision. I also hadn't been thinking about it before that day, early that week, earlier that month. It literally came out of the blue. And it was such an intuitive download that I'm now, I've listened to my intuition more and more, that I'm now also at this point where I'm like, maybe I need to take this seriously. But at the same time, I was like, but I have no reason to do this. You may know that I offer both one-on-one coaching and the co-pilot. Those are my two main offers, the two main ways to work with me right now, or they were. And I also still rely on one-on-one coaching for my revenue. It's a good chunk of my revenue. And so there was no reason to actually be like, okay, sure, let's do that. why would I pause my one-on-one coaching if it has brought me the success that I am enjoying at the moment, where my business is at right now? But it felt like such an intuitive download, the ones I have felt before, that I've thought I do need to listen to this, because this is coming so out of the blue and it's coming so strong. I shouldn't ignore this because it has a message here. And so I came home, locked my bike, and I was like, okay, I need to pause my one-on-one coaching. Okay. And rationally and intuitively, both actually, I already knew it kind of makes sense in the long term, because I want to help way more expats than I do right now. I want to help thousands of expats across the globe. I want to create a community, a movement, and I really want to help thousands of expats live really authentic global lives wherever they go. And with my one-on-one coaching, it will take me a very long time to get there. I'm already taking action on programs that are bigger for groups like the co-pilot. So I was already working to that. And when I had this intuitive download, I also realized, my one-on-one coaching has brought me a lot of success, and I am enjoying it also. But it's also the cap to my next level. It is the obstacle to my next level. Because it's the success that I enjoy today, which is keeping me at my current level. But if I want to go next level, I need to let it go. And when I had that realization, I was like, oh, wow. Because yes, I'm working towards that. But if I'm honest, it's not going fast enough for me. I want to go way faster with scaling and helping way more people and creating that impact. I've been working on it with incremental steps, but I thought if I really want to go next level, I need to let go of the success that is also capping my growth. And that was a big realization. And again, one that doesn't make sense, because if I let that go, that also has financial implications for me. So I didn't want to ignore that intuitive download. And I kind of sat with it for the rest of the day. I just went on with my business, things I had to do. I shared it with a few people. I have some really good business friends who are also really into this intuitive stuff and the woo-woo practices. And that evening, oh my God, fear had completely taken over, and doubt as well. I couldn't sleep because I knew already, I have decided. Like, my brain wasn't on board yet, but my intuition had already decided. And I knew that. I knew, shit, this is what's going to happen. And then this is when, well, I call it ego, but like doubts and fears came up. And I really questioned myself, what the actual fuck am I doing right now? Is this insane, or is this really the right thing to do? Is this going to unlock my next level, or am I just digging a hole for myself? I really didn't know. And a lot of doubt came up about, like, what if this, what if I pause my one-on-one coaching and then I'll never have new clients again? What if the co-pilot, at that time, I had 0 seats for the co-pilot sold yet. So I was like, okay, I'm making this bet on my group programs, but will it actually work out for me? I have no idea. Like, I have proof, but I don't have enough proof to really be like, that is the best strategy. And the proof I had that brought me to success was all based on mostly based on one-on-one coaching. So I thought, what the actual fuck am I doing? Am I digging my own hole? I don't know. And there were lots of fears coming up, financial insecurity, fears about, can I make this work? Who am I to do this? I have these limiting beliefs as well that still come up quite often. And I really couldn't sleep. And this rarely happens that I don't sleep because of work or finances or whatsoever. I really done a lot of inner work to be okay, no matter what is going on inside of me. But that evening, I was like, damn. The next day, I went to visit family, friends, and family. And I don't know what happened, but with each 3 of them, basically, 3 groups of people, I burst into tears. And I am not someone, I do let my emotions flow through me, but I'm not someone to cry very often. Not those ugly cries that I had that Saturday. Not 3 times in one day. And not when there is no explicit reason. So I was really like, what is going on? But because I've been through these things before, I just know, okay, whatever it is, I'm just gonna give space to it because something needs to come out. And so in my tears, what was really nice, I was able to share a lot of insecurities and fears to my family and friends. And I was really able to make space for what apparently needed to come out, even though I really wasn't expecting that. And because I was able to make space for that afterwards, I felt a lot lighter. And I still felt, okay, I don't know if this is the right way forward. My brain is not catching up yet. I don't know, but I feel this is the right way forward for me. I just intuitively know I have to do this, even though I don't know what the outcome will be. But I just know I have to. And so after the ugly cries, I felt a lot calmer already. But still, that evening again in bed, I was like, fuck. What have I done? Because what is really interesting, I hadn't announced it with anyone. I hadn't made it official yet, but I already knew I'm making this decision. The moment I turned into my street on that bike and I had this intuitive download, I already knew, okay, this is what it's going to be. And yeah, there's so much I want to say about this actually. While also not, giving all the details because it may not be super relevant to you. But I think a lot of us, we already know what we want. We already know what we need to let go of. We already know what's good for us, what we need to stop doing. We already know what's needed for us to be happy or to go next level. We already know. It's just buried under a lot of, expectations, limiting beliefs, society expectations on you, doubts, insecurities, things that you think you have to do. And it's buried underneath all of that. And so it becomes very hard to hear that message or that voice and to not get caught up in all that dirt on top of it. And when I had that intuitive download and I really recognized it as such, and then I had the cries and the fears and the doubt, I just knew this is the dirt on top of it. It's my ego that is really trying to protect me, trying to keep me safe because it doesn't know how this will play out for me. But I had this inner trust. It will work out for me. It just has to because this is my intuitive download. And it felt very scary to take action on it, but I did it on Sunday. So by Saturday evening, I was still like, fuck. Then an hour later or so, an hour and a half later in bed, I was still like, I couldn't fall asleep. All of a sudden, it just, I felt something in my body land. It was like the weight went out of my body to the floor and I felt space and expansion and like a grounding landing. And I just felt, yes, this is the right way. Because now I will have the time to actually scale the co-pilot. Because I had already caught up with this, like, yeah, okay, my one-on-one is what I love doing and it's giving me all this success and this financial security. But what I also really want to be doing requires more of me. And right now I don't have that time because I'm so busy with my one-on-one clients and finding new ones also, having conversations with them. And there's a lot that comes around it. But I also knew I need to have that space and time to really grow to the level where I want to be. And it's not just about the co-pilot. I also want to organize more workshops. I want to organize more events like I was doing in London. People have been asking me, when are you doing this in Amsterdam, in Madrid? Like, I would love to do these things. But right now, back then, I didn't have the capacity for it. Not the space, not the time. So rationally, I already knew, okay, if I want to go next level, I need to let something go to create that space. But it still came up with a lot of fears because if I'm letting something go, it also means I'm letting go of security. And I know a lot of you who are in that messy in between something that you've outgrown and the next chapter, you are there too. Like, you may already know what it is that you want or need to do, but that means letting go of something that you have now. And what if you can never have that again? Or what if you'll end up worse, right? It's fucking scary. So I knew that, it was just all this dirt coming up and trying to keep me safe. And so by Saturday evening, after an hour and a half in bed, all of a sudden I felt yes. So rationally, I had already known, okay, I need to let something go. But now I could also feel it. I was really like, yes, I feel super confident actually now to let that go because I'm creating the space that I want for myself. And so by Sunday morning, I sent an email to my airmail list. They were the first to know. And I said, I'm pausing one-on-one coaching. And for new clients, so my old clients can obviously continue to work with me. And I knew that the universe would not test me, but it would invite me to respond differently. I just knew that was coming up. So I don't remember if it was before or after, but I think it was maybe twice during that day, that Sunday, that all of a sudden I got messages from people saying, hey, Amanda, I'm interested in one-on-one coaching. Can I work with you? And so, what I could have done was say yes. And then I would let fear take over and just be like, you know what? I'm pausing one-on-one coaching, but I can squeeze in a few more people. And then I'll pause it at the start of the new year. And it's good. Then I have, I can phase it out. It's like maybe a rational approach. But I thought, no, I made a decision and I want to honor that decision, even though no one knows about it yet. I'm honoring it to myself and to the universe. I'm a spiritual girl. I believe the universe moves when you change something. And so I told them, no, my one-on-one coaching is paused. Now, what I had done was I had already a few calls in my calendar with a couple of people, and I knew, okay, I have a few slots open that are becoming available, and I'm going to honor those calls because integrity is one of my business core values. And I'm going to honor those calls. Everything that was scheduled before I felt that intuitive download, I honored that. Everything afterwards, I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm full. And to be honest, I was also full with those. I knew those slots would be filled, and I just knew, okay, I'm busy. I'm full until at least the end of the year. So it wasn't just a decision of I need to pause it. It was also like I'm full. And I honored my decision, and I told them no, and I felt so powerful. And then I also wrote my airmail people to let them know I'm pausing I'm not taking on any new clients. And I don't know when I will again, if. And it felt really good. And what I love is that I personally believe the moment that you make a real decision and you honor that decision, even though you get invited to maybe respond from your old ways, the universe rewards that. So right after I sent that email, I had 2 calls with people for the co-pilot, and right on that call, they got in. And so I knew, yes, this is my sign from the universe that I'm on the right path. This is the universe saying, well done, this is the right path for you. Good job for listening to your intuition. And so, I am pretty detached from the outcome of my business because it's not good to be attached to those external things. But I did take that on as, yes, okay, I'm on the right track. So, I can continue talking about this for a long time, but there is really this power about deciding something for yourself and honoring that commitment that you have for yourself. And I really believe that the moment you do that, the moment you choose, the universe will reorganize. And what I really learned in this decision, again, and also I see it with my clients. I have clients who made huge decisions, quit everything, moved to the other side of the world to start from nowhere again. I don't know if you can hear this, but my cat Bobby is just playing with his cat flap. The moment you really choose something, the universe will respond to it. And this is what I've been seeing in my life as well. Sometimes we need to make space or we need to change something for things to start flowing again. We can get stuck in this stagnant energy and where we just try harder and work harder, make things work, put more effort in the hope that that will generate the outcome that we want. But sometimes what we really need to do is go radically different. Either choose something radically different rather than trying harder what you were already doing. But mostly it's about letting go and making space, because you cannot welcome something new in if you don't create space first. And I really believe I was doing that with my one-on-one coaching, to let that go for now and be like, okay, I am intentionally creating space for something new, even though I don't have that much proof yet that that will replace my one-on-one financial security. But I, instead of like putting the cart in front of the horse, I'm letting the horse. No, what am I saying? Well, there's this expression, right? But instead of saying, okay, once, you can also think, once I have a certain amount of people in my group programs, or I make a certain amount of money, then I can do this. And I know a lot of you think like this as well. I mean, and so do I still. Like, okay, once I have that promotion, then I will. Once I get that citizenship, then I can move again. Once I have a relationship, then I will know if I will stay here. But we're going to talk about that in another episode, but you're really outsourcing your timeline then. And so sometimes we first need to already say to ourselves, this is going to happen. And so I will make the first move to make that happen. So yes, my impact to thousands of expats around the world is going to happen. So I'm already going to create the space for that. So I'm letting go of something that has brought me a lot of success, but it is now capping me in my growth. And there is just a great wave of energy that comes from that. And whether you believe in the universe or not, I know you have experienced this before yourself as well, where you have really all of a sudden decided something coming from your intuition that you're like, fuck yeah, this is what we're doing or not doing. I'm letting that go. And all of a sudden you feel the flow of energy. Things are moving again. It feels less stagnant. It feels in flow. And so if you're listening to this and you're in this messy middle, in this stagnant energy, and something needs to change, but it's not really working out well for you, what is it that you need to let go of first to create that space, to welcome the new chapter in? I would love for you to think about that. Now, there's something else that came up for me around this, that wasn't just about letting something go and making a decision and honoring my intuition and really trusting that my intuition already knows. It was also about learning to lean back and receive. And as a high achiever, that is the scariest thing, because I'm used to hard work. I'm used to trying just a little harder, putting more effort in, I'm used to getting things done and making things work. And if sometimes things feel sticky or not flowy or it's not working out for me, my go-to response is still, okay, then I need to work harder. I need to just do it. I'll make it work. And I'm addicted to hard work and struggle. I will tell you that. And I know a lot of you are as well. And so I've been doing a lot of inner work already to let that go. That, things always need to be a struggle. And so when I decided, okay, I'm pausing my one-on-one coaching, I'm not taking on any new clients. This was also about leaning back because I was hoping that the co-pilot would be a success, and it is. I'm glad. And I was hoping that those people I had a call with still would get in for the one-on-one coaching, and they did. But after that, if I'm passing one-on-one coaching and the doors to the co-pilot are closed, what then? And so this was really not about me, okay, let me just work harder to make, to meet my goals or whatever. No, I'm pausing this, and I kind of need to lean back. Because there's, I don't know, I'm creating space. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fill that space still, but it's about leaning back. And the moment I energetically said, I'm letting go of the one-on-one coaching of new clients, I also felt this, I can stop the hustle. Because that was one of the reasons why I think that led me to my intuitive download. I speak to wonderful people in one-on-one coaching, but not everyone after a call goes ahead with it. And I was really tired of that. And I thought I want to work with people who are already committed to working with me as well. And I want to have more of those people. But it sometimes felt like, it's every month it's wondering how many people will I coach this month and will I meet my goals? And there's, financial insecurity in the world right now. And I see that sometimes reflected in my work as well. So I was like a bit tired of that. And by saying I'm pausing any new clients, I'm also telling myself, okay, I can take a break from it. And if I take a break, I can already feel it now as I'm recording this. I can lean back and I can receive. Now, as I said, as a high achiever, it's the scariest thing because I get what I want by working hard for it. And I'm not used to getting it by just simply receiving it. It always feels like I need to do something for it. But the moment I made that decision, I felt that energetic shift. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to pause. I'm just going to lean back for a moment and I'll see where I'll end up. If need be, I'll dip into my savings. It's no problem. So I did that, and guess what? Guess what? I'm having the second best month in the 3.5 years of my business. I certainly did not expect that when the moment that I said, or when I was lying in bed Friday and Saturday evening, going through all these doubts and fears. I certainly did not expect that. And it's at the time of recording, we still have a full week left, so I might even beat my best month that I had so far. It's the second best month I've had in 3.5 years. And this is not by working harder. This is because I'm leaning back and I'm able to receive. So almost everyone who I had a one-on-one call still scheduled with got in. They were like, I'm in. They said, I want to start later, but I already want to get in. More people joined the co-pilot. We have a wonderful group. As I said earlier, I'm so amazed at these wonderful people. It's a really nice group. And I really wasn't expecting this, because I was expecting, if I can't work, then, or if I stop this, then, it will have implications. And the opposite is true. And so what I want to share here as well is, where can you lean back and receive? Because if you are high achieving like me, and I know most of you don't say that about yourselves, but if you are used to hard work and maybe addicted to the struggle, maybe we should talk about that in another episode, then probably you also have difficulties in receiving and leaning back and let the universe take care of you. So my question to you is, where can you lean back in your life? And instead of just working harder to get to where you want to go and putting more effort in, where can you just say to yourself, I'm going to lean back and I'm just going to see and receive? Because I really believe in this energetic shift. And I think the moment you can embrace that shift, again, the universe will align for you and you will start to receive. Now, maybe there's still a lesson that you need to learn, so it doesn't always reward it straight away. But yeah, I do believe if you learn to receive, you can receive a lot more. But you need to have your hands open to receive. And if you're always working hard and going forward and putting more effort in, your hands aren't open to receive. So that was a big lesson for me this month as well, where I'm just like, oh, wow. Change your energy, change the results. That's really what's going on for me. So this is just, some personal things I wanted to share with you. Again, it feels a bit vulnerable to share this here. I'm opening up also about my business, but I really do believe that we all face these things, whether it's for business or expat life or something in your relationships, your big scary dreams. And we all face these fears and doubts, and we are used to a certain level of success. And it's hard to let that go. It's fucking scary to let that go when you don't have proof of the next thing truly happening for you yet. And it is very scary to take that leap. But at the same time, it feels powerful. I'm sorry for all my cursing today. But it feels so powerful to bet on yourself and to fully, fully, fully trust yourself that deep down you can't explain it, you can't prove it, but deep down this is the right decision for me and I trust that it will work out. And then to see that evidence coming, I felt that power already before I saw the evidence. To just take the leap is powerful, but then to also see the results, you're just like, holy crap, I wish I had done that earlier. So I really wish the same to you. If you're stuck in this messy middle and in this stagnant energy, where can you do something radically different? Where can you let something go? Where can you create space? Where can you lean back? And for me, I tried my incremental harder working for some time and my strategy. And I also saw it's not generating the big results I want, not fast enough. So why don't I change something radically different and just approach it this way, and I'll see it as an experiment. So that's what I'm doing. And so as of 2 weeks ago, there's no space for new one-on-one clients. You can't book a discovery call with me. I've paused it until the end of the year. I might continue pausing it. I don't know yet. I'm going to feel into this. So I'm giving myself at least until the end of the year, but I have a feeling it might be longer. I'm also thinking of creating a few different kind of offers, something that is a smaller product that you can do on your own when it comes to making decisions, so that you don't have to go into a big program like the co-pilot yet. I'm also thinking about creating something really nice and exclusive for one unicorn who wants to work a full year with me and really want to go all in on 2026 and make it their best year ever. That's something I'm really excited about. So I'm thinking around those things. And if I will open my one-on-one coaching as it was before, I will probably, because I love one-on-one coaching, but it's not going to be as it was before, not to that extent. And I will give priority for those inside the Copilot who want to continue working one-on-one with me. So I'll open up a waitlist anyway, so you can stay up to date on when it will open again. And of course, what I could have done as well is say this already before making my decision final. I could be like, I'm closing down my one-on-one coaching, be quick. But I thought, no, that is again coming out of fear, and to just lock in a few more, safety nets for the next month. No, I want to honor my commitment. So this is why I'm only sharing it afterwards with you. So you can't work with me right now unless you're inside the Copilot. Doors to this live round are now closed. I will open them up again, probably at the end of the year. But again, that's also something I will feel into. And if you want to stay up to date, subscribe to the podcast, and then you'll be the first person to know what is going on. And I would love to hear from you after this episode. Did you have a takeaway? And if so, what is it? I would love to hear your biggest takeaways, or maybe the downloads that you got from it, or a new perspective that opened up for you. Because I know my podcast resonates with you. Sometimes I get DMs, and you're also kind sharing what it meant for you. And I would love to hear more. So I also know how to serve you best with what kind of insights. So feel very free to reach out to me and share your biggest takeaway. You can do that by sending me a DM on Instagram. You can find me at Amanda Maxime. Yeah, that's it. There. Or send me an email, info@amandamaximecoaching.com. All right. I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I look forward to seeing you in DMs.